Hey all, this is Redditosker. On this channel we're releasing short, spoiler-free videos every day leading up to the release of Shadow of the Erdtree. We're doing this to make the wait a little easier, and the videos will be spoiler-free specifically for the people that chose to abstain from the previews. And today's topic is highly relevant specifically for that group of people, because today we're talking about the Red Bull Shadow of the Erdtree event that's going on June 15th. If you go to the Red Bull Twitter, it says that Red Bull Levels returns with Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. An exclusive pre-launch stream awaits. Be the first to witness world-exclusive reveals and travel to the realm of shadows to uncover the mysteries from the unseen land 1 week before the global release. Below that, they have a link to the Elden Ring website talking about this collaboration. Going to the website reveals that this will be a live event, and it says, the series Peeling Back the Curtain Behind Video Game Development will host a live event on June 15th, in which selected content creators will experience an exclusive first playthrough of the highly anticipated Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. It goes on to say Red Bull Levels, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC kicks off at blah 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 blah, promising world first reveals, get ready for an adrenaline pumping showcase featuring uncharted lands, an in-depth exploration of the lore, and so much more. Hosted by Gennaro and commentated by Ortstarva and Dino Singale. Internationally renowned content creators will join for this epic stream ahead of the launch of Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC on June 21st. Each creator will get to try out new weapons and venture into uncharted territories, providing fans with an extended glimpse of the gameplay before the official launch on June 21st. You'll also hear insightful commentary from Elden Ring experts adding depth to the unfolding adventure. Invited creators will also compete in various fun challenges in the base game ahead of their first hands-on experience with Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Alright, now the reason that this is particularly important for people that have chosen to go in blind and are watching my spoiler-free countdown videos as a way to cope with the wait is because I do not believe that this Red Bull event is safe for those people to watch. This is not a spoiler-free event. The Red Bull Gaming Twitter does say that there will be no story spoilers revealed in the stream, but they're liars, I'm very sure. Because Red Bull did an event for Elden Ring before its release, around the same time period. It was very similar. In that event, they did show off the beginning part of the game, the opening cutscene, and people going out and exploring into Limgrave. And that's very different than contextless combat. The creators were just streaming themselves playing the game from the beginning, so you do have all the context, and were allowed to just wander around the early section of the game. Which, if you decided to not look at the previews of the last thing, is definitely something that you'd have a problem with. If this event is going to go the same way, then these creators will have probably access to the same area that the previewers got to access. The difference being that the previewers could only show you footage that From Software approved. They weren't able to show you their own gameplay. That's not going to be the case this time. These guys are going to have free range to go wherever they want. And in that preview, there were two major bosses that were shown. One of them we had already seen before the preview, but one of them we had no idea about, and wasn't shown in the footage, and only the previewer's account of what it was told us about it. That, I feel, is going to be considered a spoiler by many people, because it does have story implications, and it's the kind of thing that a spoiler-free person would want to see on their own. And if this Red Bull event has access to the same play area that those previewers did, then they'll be able to reach this boss and show footage of it on the screen. Now that said, there is probably stuff in here that people would want to see, but other things they don't want to see. So for example, it talks about how the creators will get to try out new weapons and venture into uncharted territories. Well, personally, I may not want to see you fighting stuff and going through levels and talking to NPCs, but I would be very interested in seeing these new weapons, how they move, the new Ashes of War, and the big katana. We still haven't seen what that looks like. There's no footage of it yet. So what I'm going to do is offer myself as a sacrifice. I will stream myself watching the Red Bull event, and then the next day I will release one of these spoiler-free videos for people that will have much of the interesting information from this Red Bull event, but that information will be filtered to be spoiler-free. Now I realize that there are different tolerances that people have for what they consider a spoiler. Some people think that only story-related matters can be a spoiler. And some people think that a company releasing marketing information can't be a spoiler no matter what they show. And then there's the opposite side of the spectrum that think that showing gameplay mechanics and even new weapon animations though they may be divorced from context, are still a spoiler, and something they would have preferred to see on their own. And every person's going to have to decide on their own where they land on that spectrum. If this Red Bull event is like the one they did for the Elden Ring's launch, then these people will be playing from the beginning and have a mostly free reign to wander around in the starting areas, and I think it very likely that it will show that second boss that was discussed in the previews but was not shown on camera. It's up to you to decide if that's something you want to see. Anyway, that's the end of this video. As always, thank you very much for watching.